I'd like to thank everybody for coming tonight. I'd like to call the August 20, 2024 meeting of the Owen County Advisory Plan Commission to order. If you haven't already signed in, please do so. If you're coming up to speak tonight, make sure you state your name and your address before you continue. And with that being said, if everyone will please rise for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Three on the agenda, roll call. Susan?
Amy Casebeard, Bob Curry,
Here.
Amy Meyer, Kenneth Sebastian,
Here.
Bill Purcell,
Here.
Norm Warner,
Here.
Chad Van Ryan,
Here.
Donna McIntyre,
Here.
Mike Swafford.
Here. Okay. Number 4, approval of minutes. You have the minutes for July the 16th, 2024 meeting before you. They've been in our pack, well, so I would entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Is that you, Ken?
Yep.
Ken moved to approve and seconded by Mr. Swafford. All in favor of the minutes approval? Was
I think it was
was it Chad? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, Chad. I just heard a voice. All right. All in favor of approval of minutes? Bill, you in? Good? Okay. 7-0. All right. Number 5, old business.
We don't have any.
No old business. Moving on. Number 6, new business. A on the new business, public hearing for the rezone application PC 2024-12 Sherman C Properties LLC. Huh? Hold on.
You better read something first.
Okay.
I think that's
All right.
isn't it? That's already on.
This is Plan Commission, and this is for a rezone, yes. Okay. Plan Commission meetings, there will be one requested rezoning, and that is PC 2024-12. These requests are typically termed amendments to the zoning map or rezoning. In considering these requests, the Plan Commission shall pay reasonable regard to the following: the comprehensive plan, current condition and character of the current structures and uses in each district, the most desirable use for which the land in each district is adapted, the conservation of property values through the district jurisdiction, and responsible development and growth. Pursuant to Indiana Code 36-7-6-604, before a Plan Commission certifies a proposal to the legislative body, which would be the commissioners, the Plan Commission must hold a public hearing, which is what we're doing tonight. The Plan Commission shall give notice of the hearing by publication under Indiana Code 5-3-1. The notice must state the time and place of the hearing, the geographical area that is subject to the zone map change. This notice does not require the identification of any real property by meets or bounds. A description of the proposed change to the zone maps, the place where a copy of the proposal is on file for examination before the hearing, that written objections to the proposal that are filed with the Secretary of the Commissioner before the hearing will be considered, that oral comments concerning the proposal will be heard, that the hearing may continue from time to time as may be found necessary. Due notice. The Plan Commission shall also provide for due notice to interested parties at least 10 days before the date set for the hearing. Did we do that?
The placement of the sign was 10 days prior. There was one person missed on the email, on the mailing, but we physically went out to their property and talked to them about the petition. They're the only ones missing.
So this would cover the owners of real property to the depth of 2 ownerships must receive notice.
It was the one in Morgan County.
Oh, okay.
It was just one of them, Morgan County.
All right,
Listed. So,
All right. The hearing must be held by the planning commission at the place stated in the notice. The file of the planning commission concerning proposal are public record and shall be kept available at the commissioner's office for inspection by any interested persons. Did we have anyone come in to look at the records that you know of? We did? Okay. Proposal pursuant to Indiana Code 36-7-4-605, a proposal to change the zone maps may be certified with a favorable recommendation, an unfavorable recommendation, or no recommendation. The legislative body shall consider the recommendation, if any, of the Plan Commission before acting on the proposal. So, we posted the sign, we sent mail, and we've received feedback from the public, correct? So, tonight, you received a rather lengthy, from the public. Do I need to read all of this, Dana?
so you need to open the
Yeah.
hearing.
You're exercising the time limits, and you would be agreeing to the time limit.
Okay. Because this is quite long. Or can we just,
Has it been shared amongst the,
we all have it, but,
It was provided 10 minutes before.
yeah, we got it tonight, and there's like 30 pages here. Yeah, exactly 30.
yeah,
And it's in reference to this petition. And before I open a public hearing, I want to know if I need to read this, or if us having access to it is good enough.
well, again, I believe that what happens, you would, the 5-minute time limit, you would read 5 minutes, and then that's it. That's all the time that that person's allotted. They don't get more time for putting it in.
Okay? So,
You want me to do that, I'll be happy to read it.
if you don't mind.
Point of order, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Point of order. I am the submitter of that letter.
Yes.
And per the rules of procedure, there is not a limitation of time for written comments or oppositions to be made. The limitation is only for oral discussion and comments made during the hearing. Therefore,
This was not given to the commission.
Yeah, that doesn't have anything to do with what we're doing.
I would succeed, I would acknowledge that you all have this, and it would not have to be read in record to conserve time, if that would be beneficial.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Can we just accept it that it's in the record because we have it? It'll be in the minutes that I've spoken about it, and that will be sufficient, or do we need to read it? That was the question.
If she's the submitter, then she says.
So you're okay with the fact that we have it?
I'm okay with that, because technically
Okay.
it does not have to be read into record by the way your rules are written. And I
Okay.
would concede to that as long as you all had an opportunity to read that, and it was submitted by the deadline required to get a written comment in here.
All right, fair enough. Thank you for that. Okay. With that hurdle being set aside, I will go ahead and open the public hearing for PC 2024-12, Sherman C. Properties LLC. So a representative of, or whomever, step forward, state your name, your address, and present your application, please.
Do I need to say?
Right here.
Yeah, and if you can.
And hit the button so we can hear you.
Okay. You already have my application. so
Yeah,
is
so you
that-
can hit that button in the middle. Thank you.
Okay. My name is Andrew Couch. I'm the sole owner of Sherman C. Properties LLC. My address is 5935 State Road 42, Martinsville, Indiana, 46151. I want to start out by thanking the Building and Mapping Committee for all the work that they did to get us ready for this meeting today, and also for the board for the opportunity to speak today. So my plan is just to rezone the property to multifamily. The property was used for this purpose for over 20 years or so, I'm told. I have owned the property for it will be 4 years in October. Nothing will change in the community or the neighborhood. It's what the property has been used for, like I said. So I currently have one structure on the property right now. I plan to have one more mobile home placed on that parcel. The owner of the planned build and current structure is in another LLC, which pays Sherman C Properties, which owns the property lot rent for those, and the other LLC actually rents out those homes. This will be the last home that goes on that particular parcel, so there will be 2 homes on that parcel if we get approval. So if anyone has any questions or concerns, happy to
Did we have
speak
this
to
once
those.
before that we discussed at another meeting?
We did that on State Prairie Road.
Oh, okay. I just remember that we had done one, I wasn't sure if this was
Just
one
had
of
been
them or
in
not.
So the current zoning on this is agricultural,
No, single family.
single-family residential.
How big's your lot?
This lot is 1 acre.
1 acre. And how many families are you putting in each mobile home?
Just one family.
Multifamily means 2 or more per unit.
Okay. Well, I
They
was
have to be
told to,
constructed to house 2 or more families.
okay, so I was told that in order to put another mobile home on this particular property, it would have to be rezoned to multifamily.
Mobile home park is listed under multifamily as well. And the multifamily listing, mobile home park.
I'd have to have that read to me, I guess, because I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it was in what I sent you in that one email.
I saw that.
Yeah, it was.
We went through this on
There
State
was a
Prairie Road.
list, yeah, there was a list of all the things that were allowed, apartment, all of those things.
Didn't see that.
So,
Yes, yeah, the septics, I have records for those, they've been approved by the health department.
how are you planning on getting to and from this from a county road, which is, I think, required for multifamily, correct? You can't go across somebody else's property as an easement, correct? Or am I
So-
missing
I
something?
wouldn't think so.
So, the parcel that comes from the county road is also owned by Sherman C Properties. So the drive goes diagonally through,
That's
diagonally from one parcel to the next parcel.
I hear you, but the problem with that is, that's a separate property that could be sold. And then your
That's
easement
where the
goes
problem
away
is.
and you have a landlocked lot. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but I don't think
And
you're right.
in the ordinance, if I'm not mistaken, it specifically mentions access and egress and ingress from a county road, true? I haven't read it in,
Yeah,
did I miss something, or is that what it says? Are these gonna be used or brand new?
Used, but fully remodeled, so.
But then that comes into the train of Indiana law that has pertaining to mobile homes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so mobile home parks, based on my understanding, are more than 4 homes on one property, and there are not more than 4 homes on the property.
It also depends on the size and how old it is too. We learned that on our comprehension plan that we went to. And that is one of Indiana's laws. It's not ours. It was done by
Okay.
Indiana.
So square footage on those 2 places that you're planning on putting on there?
The square footage of the home that's currently there, I believe, is 850 square feet, and the size of the proposed build, I believe, is 700 square feet.
700?
Our minimum is 720, isn't it?
So it's below our minimum?
based on what you just said, it would have to be new for 700.
So let me look real quick. tell you
According to
exactly.
the ordinances on, that we were saying about the multifamily, chapter 5, multifamily development standards. Introduction, letter A, multifamily including apartment, duplexes, condominiums shall be defined as a permanent building designed or used exclusively for residential occupancy, containing 2 or more dwellings per unit. Nowhere does it say anything about trailers in the introduction. And I read down through it and I see nothing about trailer parks. 2 trailers on one lot, 2 houses on one lot for that matter. But I'll keep reading.
So just a correction, the proposed home is 742 square feet. It's 53 by 14.
The definition of residential multifamily is found in Oklahoma County Code 155.6A3, and it's multifamily intended for residential development of more than 1 dwelling unit per acre, including but not limited to apartments, condominiums, townhouses, duplexes, recreation and vehicle parks, and mobile home parks. So it's where there is more than 1 dwelling unit per acre is multifamily.
And how big is this property?
1 acre.
So it's got 1 acre and you're wanting to put another mobile home on.
Yes.
There has been 3 on this property before.
Yeah, but that was before they
Right,
did the
right. No, I'm just
comprehension
saying that in
and
the
before
past, there was
Indiana
restrictions.
changed the law on that. I mean, we have to go by what Indiana law says.
The biggest hurdle that I see is this is in no way, shape, or form anywhere near the new comprehensive plan accepted use for those properties up through there. I mean, we just passed it, and we have commercial in certain areas, and we have residential, and we have agricultural, and I would hope, intend to stick with that until it's rewritten at some point in the future. But, I mean, that's just me.
Well, that's what we did the comprehension for, and
Right,
that's
right.
why all of our documents was updated, and the attorney spent so much
The-
time and effort into everything.
The problem that I don't know if it's a problem, but the situation that we're in is we are new comprehensive plan, old ordinances.
But we have to
Because one
go
of
with
the, right, we have to
Indiana's.
go with the old ones, because then, one of the things on our agenda tonight would be the new ordinance, public hearing, so, anyway. You got anything else, sir? Okay. Well, thank you. I'm going to, move along. So, in regards to PC 2024-12 or 12, we will now take public comments from anybody that's interested. Same rules apply. Come forward, state your name, your address, and then please keep it reasonable. I don't want to have to stop anybody. I want to hear what people have to say about it. And one other thing, if we cover it all with one person, don't come up and tell us the same thing again. We get it, okay? All right.
Hello, good evening. My name is Pamela Rogers. I live at 1411 Kelly Farm Place, Spencer, Indiana. I submitted written comments in objection and opposition to the rezone. To quickly respond to Mr. Kerr's comment, he referred to the standards listed under rezone, and it refers to a definition which is not fully identified in the prior zoning and subdivision control ordinances. There is a dispute of language between the definition of zone, in which he states more than 1 dwelling unit per acre. However, when you go to the criteria to develop a multi-family structure, it does state that that requires to be a structure that has 2 or more partitions within it, units within it. So the ambiguous language is in part because of, just as you said, a disparity between the different documents. Saying that, to approve this, you have a only actually 3 pages of key point things. Access is critical. It does have to be to a county road. The easement and the deed that was provided in this application that deed has an error in it. It refers to a easement that is not congruent with the actual documents that are in file. And as a part of your packet, you have a recorded current interest of the party they purchased the property from. She has not, Mrs. Decker did not release her life estate interest in this parcel. So you were provided with a copy of that. The deed, the warranty deed, is very unusual. There is no filing within the state of Indiana or our county of a sales disclosure to clarify this. And it speaks for itself. The other matters in here are, you are correct. You do not, because it has been used in the past that way, does not substantiate why you would want to redo this. Once this is rezoned, an apartment, a condos, multiple structures can be brought in. Once it's rezoned, it's rezoned. At no place did the petitioner address utilities. What is the source of water? There is one well located on the submission plat drawing. In the application, the drawing is supposed to be a scale, and it's not. If you go by that, the finger systems are 7 feet long and there's only 5. So in just the minimum requirements of what is required to complete an application has not been met. I included references directly out of the ordinances, including documents that show the presence of Wiggle Drive, and these folks are here to speak for that, because the easement that is identified in the deed is actually for along the west portion of one of the pieces, one of the parcels that connects to Wiggle Drive, and there has to be an agreement in place, either in the way of conditions. None of those are on file. It was stated that one party had not received notice, those that lived in Morgan County. I would ask, when was that notice given? And that letter is actually supposed to be sent by the petitioner, not by the county. You will note that there were, I believe, 5 incorrect addresses used on the notice that was provided for this. You do have included in your packet on page 11 Water Mobile Home Park standards. And although on one hand it stated that it's been done in the past, we'd like to have multiple manufactured homes or mobile homes within this parcel because, hey, it's been done in the past. And because of zoning, it says that you can put more than one on there. According to comprehensive plan, there are standards that have to be met. What is that density level and what is acceptable? When you go and look at the tax records for this parcel, you're going to see that over the last 10 years, this particular parcel has not even been assessed as though it is a residential 1 acre that we all who have homes, 1 acre of the property is assessed at full value. This is a 50% discount. According to the county assessor, that is applied when there is evidence of not having the utilities or access to those utilities. And I asked, how could for the last 10 years this have been used as a 3 or 2 parcel for residential properties when it's being given a discount and does not even appear as having all the resources needed for water, septic, sewer, electric, etc. I included a comment that is possibly in error. It was corrected today regarding the statement of the initial installation of the manufactured home against code. Unfortunately, that has already been processed at the Attorney General's office and that will proceed. So at this point, I cannot stand behind that statement because shortly before this meeting, I was given a document that was not there yesterday. But I did include the copy of the deeds I received from the recorder's office. And I believe as you review this, if you hear the comments, at some point, the county has to start looking out for the well-being of the neighbors in the community, and to allow a multi-housing development to go in or to be rezoned. And the owner's parcel, admittedly, is already potentially not complying with zoning and building code requirements. So the 3.6 plus acre parcel is not a part of this rezoning. However, they are alluding to using ingress egress through a part of this property. And this entire rezone requires an in-depth look to make sure that the old language, the new language, and what the intent of the comprehensive plan and your duties on this board actually are, and that is to serve and protect you, to make sure that if you do a rezone, that you are helping those protect the value of their land, to protect health, safety, and access. So thank you for your time.
Thanks. All right, anybody else? Come forward.
My name's Martin Mills.
Address, please.
10326, 10324 Whitehall Drive. 10320, 10322.
I'm looking for you. 326, and what was the other one?
322,
322.
324, and 320.
So 320, 326. Okay, go ahead.
I appreciate you guys giving me an opportunity to talk. I second a lot of what she was saying. I want to express my concerns regarding the proposal of Sherman Properties LLC for the rezoning from single to multi-residential for a mobile home park. I want to highlight that from the zoning laws that I read, it takes 5 acres to make a mobile home park. And from what I've read, that little acre right there and the other a little bit under 4 acres is under 5 acres. Like you brought up, Mr. Commissioner, that they need access to a county road. It kind of seems like they're playing both sides of the fence because the same name is on both of these properties that are adjoining. There's already 4. There's a camper that's on there, and there's 3 mobile homes in the less than 5 acres it's adjoining. Also concerning the zoning laws, may I approach the map or?
Sure.
Okay. This right here is the property line that's concerning, this is the parcel that's being in question. I have a goat farm right here, and you can see where Mr. Couch is trying to put the new mobile home, and it's 8 foot off my property line. And if I read the zoning laws right, the dwelling has to be 25 foot from the property line.
Correct.
So if this is allowed to happen, it's just concerning that it's undermining all of the zoning laws. And Mr. I might have misunderstood, but I thought he said that it wasn't being rented. The one that's there is rented right now. And I'm pretty sure the one he's going to put in is going to be rented. Maybe I misunderstood that, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be rented. And I just think it would undermine all the zoning laws.
Anything else, sir?
Mr. Couch said that has been a trailer park with multi-use with a bunch of trailers and stuff on it for the last 20 years. I bought my one property that is on the line of it 5 years ago, and I bought the other one approximately 2 years ago. I own 2 properties connected to this acre, and when I bought my properties, there was no multifamily homes on there. There was no extra trailers on there. There was no anything. So I don't know what it was before I bought it.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
So he tells me there's one on there right now being rented. When did it go in?
It went in there approximately a year, maybe less than a year ago.
So that would have been after we did our comprehension and put things in.
How long, when do we pass the new comprehensive plan?
Well, the property's single family, so
Right.
he could put.
I'm not, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, when that came in, what, a year and a half ago?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I was there, but I've slept since then. Okay.
So my question is, if he did
Well-
this, was this after we had already done our comprehension, or was this before?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, the one, single family's fine, that's what she's
Yeah.
saying, but the point being that we were under the new comprehensive plan. I'm sorry to cut you off here, but we're just,
You're fine.
so the new comprehensive plan deals with this very issue.
Yeah, exactly.
And this area, I mean, among the whole county, in my opinion.
Well, it does, because it also is connected to the Indiana law that we have to go by on the mobile homes.
Which supersedes anything we do
Yeah.
anyway.
So,
Well,
Yeah, I
continue.
think one of the very bottom lines I'm saying is I don't want dwellings within 6-7 foot of my property line.
Well, so let me address that, how that would work. At the best case scenario, that would then have to come to the BZA for a variance on setback, which is a whole nother group. I'm on that, but it's a whole nother group, 5 people that have to come before that to be able to do that. Because it's 25 foot on the sides and it's 50 foot off of, or 75 feet off of any county road. Now, that's quite possibly going to change when the new UDO goes into effect, but for right now, what we're operating off of, 25 foot on all sides and 75 foot off of a county road. Now, because this one doesn't have county road access, you have to look at the access road as the road, which would mean 75 feet off of the center of that road for both properties. So anything in violation of that would mean he'd have to come before the BZA and clear it there before it can move forward anyway. Is that your guys' understanding? Bob, you're a commissioner, right?
Yeah, and I think
So-
the new ordinance is the same statement. I don't think we changed that a bit, did we? I can't remember.
I'd have to read through it again. I've read so much stuff in the last couple of days.
We covered so much, so.
Right. So go right ahead, sir.
I mean, in short, it would definitely decrease the value of my home and other than the area. I mean, many of us have invested our time and effort, finances, maintaining our properties and creating a welcoming community. The proposed rezoning threatens that investment to all of us. I urge you to consider the long-term implications of this decision by allowing Sherman Properties LLC bypass established zoning codes, which we risk opening floodgates to further non-compliance in our community. It is vital that we uphold the rules that protect our residential areas and well-being of our residents. In conclusion, I respectfully request the board deny the rezoning application for Sherman C Properties. Let us prioritize the well-being of our community, our properties, and our animals by adhering to the zoning ordinances and are in place to protect us all.
So, just so, and I read this, but I'll remind you of it. We're not the final word. We have favorable, unfavorable, or no recommendation, then it goes to the commissioners. So
I understand.
just keep that in mind.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, thanks, sir. Anybody else? Nope. All right, seeing none, I will close the public hearing portion of PC 20, oh, yes.
Am I allowed to respond, or?
You can have a rebuttal if you want, that's,
Okay,
so come forward.
okay. Okay, again, my name is Andrew Couch. I'm the owner of Sherman C Properties for the proposed. So as far as property taxes go, mobile homes are personal property, based on my understanding. That's just my understanding. In the utilities, so there are 2 wells on the property. And like I said, each lot has septics that have been approved by the county. The proposed site is 25 feet from, like, the back of the mobile home would be 25 feet from the property line. Now the pads that were there do go closer, but the pads that are closer obviously just wouldn't be used. We would just cover those back up. As well, and when I purchased the property, there were 2 homes on this one parcel. Can I approach the map?
Yep.
So when I purchased it, there was a brown mobile home at 10341, which was tore down shortly before I purchased it, but it was there when I first started viewing the property. And then there was a home, her name was Connie. She lived at 10279, and that was just 3.5 years ago. And then there are also mobile homes just on the other side of my property line. There's 2 mobile homes as well as a permanent dwelling. That's not my property, I don't own those.
Okay,
But
so you said that before you bought that, there was a brown mobile home on there, but it was taken down.
yes,
So when you bought it, there was only one on there, right?
correct, yes, yep.
So that takes off of being able to come and ask, in my opinion, for us to say it's okay to put a second one on there because the second one was already removed from that property before you bought it. And so we have to go by what our comprehension and what Indiana law says.
And the other thing is, any structure that was removed for more than 6 months, any kind of grandfathering that would have been in place goes away.
Yeah.
And it becomes its own baby again, for lack of a better way of saying it.
Now, I'm not trying to be
Okay.
hard-nosed, I'm just
Yeah.
telling you what we have, guidelines we have to go by. And I personally don't see where we can do anything to move this forward other than say no.
Okay,
I mean, our constraints are our constraints. We don't get to
Yeah.
fluctuate from them, and,
so there's no grandfather. The reason that I purchased this property was for an investment 4 years ago. So basically, what I'm hearing is, like, I can't pursue that.
No, because we have to go by what our comprehension says and what Indiana law says on mobile
Okay.
homes.
So on the mobile home parks for Indiana, that's for
That's not a mobile
licensed
home
mobile
park.
home.
It's not listed as a mobile home park.
That's correct,
There was one
yeah.
trailer on there.
Yeah.
One was taken off before you bought it. Which
Well,
bought,
I
you bought a
asked
property
it.
with one mobile home on it.
Yeah,
So that's not a mobile home park.
okay,
So it's really laid out in plain form because you told yourself that the brown mobile home was on there before you bought it, but when you bought it, the mobile home was removed.
yeah.
So that voids out the second home. So when
Okay.
you're coming and asking us to be able to allow you to put a second mobile home on there, it's just straight up no. And I'll make a motion that we deny it because we're not allowed to be able to move forward
I
with
need to
it.
close the public hearing first.
We still have questions.
Right, and we still have the questions and answer part, and then we can make motions.
Okay.
You don't get a rebuttal, I'm sorry.
One other thing no one's addressed, this life estate issue,
Yes.
is that lady still living?
There were no records with the county to indicate she was deceased, and as of the date of sale, she was still alive, so there has been no probate document filed or other release that could be found.
The death certificate would remove that, but
So are you saying that someone else's name is on the deed?
Yeah, that's exactly what's,
this deed
a life estate is just that, it's a life estate. It has to be released
So
by
there hasn't
the
been a
person that
job.
put it in place or a relative of those in the time of their death.
Okay.
And
the
that should
title-
have been recorded at the courthouse. So if that didn't happen, we can't go off of what ifs and maybes. We have to have documentation.
Okay,
proof.
so the title company missed that?
I don't know who
Okay.
missed it. I
there
can't,
might have been an exception in your policy, I don't see it.
Commissioner,
yes, sir.
if there's a life estate on the piece of property and that person has passed away,
Yes.
then that life estate is extinguished. Nobody has to sign anything. You get it.
Okay.
Yeah, but she said the lady was still alive.
Do we know if she's passed away is the question.
But in order to remove that, we need, they would need a death certificate to look at the officer.
So usually if a
That's how
life,
you would clean up the title.
Right.
so if usually if there's still a life estate, it would be in the memo section or the legal section of the parcel, and it's not there.
So we don't
down here
know if
on
the life
legal
estate-
description, the auditor's office would leave any legal notice right there, that it says 1 acre, and it's not there.
Well, but there's a copy of this quitclaim deed recorded February 17, 1998, Diane Dixon receives a life estate in both described property,
Diane Dixon is the previous owner,
but she reserved life estate according to this quick home deed.
but she signed over her interest in it when she sold it to him.
I don't know how she got assigned it over to him if it was a
Hang on a
life
second.
deed. I mean,
So what's your point of order?
You have a document, the deed that was filed with this petition identifies the Dixons' release and grant specific to the 3.6 acres, and it refers to Christopher Wesley for the 1 acre. The document you have, the life estate is still recorded, and it is for the 1 acre of Christopher S. Wesley. And the deed, the grant, and the signature did not release, Ms. Dixon did not include a release upon Mr. Wesley's property. The deed only signed a warranty deed for the 3+ acres, and that is a matter of records that you have.
it's a mess.
Yeah, this one's, got anything else, sir? No. Thank you. Okay. Other questions from any of the council?
May I ask a question, sir? I'm sorry.
You can ask me, yes.
Is there a difference between a mobile home and a recreational camper?
Yeah, I would say yes.
Because when he says that there was a mobile home on that property when he bought it, it was not a mobile home, it was like a 20-square-foot pool behind one
RV.
axle camper.
An RV.
That's what was on it. Not, I mean, on RV.
Right, and it's irrelevant, it's gone,
Okay,
so,
thank you.
yeah.
I was curious.
Yeah, but yes, you're correct. You guys got anything else? I'm gonna close the public hearing for PC 2024-12. Any further discussion? If not, I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we do not move forward with this. It's not legally ready.
So we have,
You're
we can do
saying-
favorable, unfavorable, or no recommendation. Which one? would it-
Unfavorable.
Unfavorable. A motion made by Donna for an unfavorable recommendation to the commissioners. Seconded by Mr. Purcell. All in favor of a show of hands? 7-0. Couple of things. Number one, this paperwork is a disaster, and I don't know who you need to get with to straighten it out. But your recommendation, or our recommendation, will now go to the commissioners, and they will have the final say. We are not the final word on this, just so that everyone knows. But that's where we're at tonight. All righty. B of number 6, Owen County redevelopment resolution.
There's a resolution before you this evening, we got from the redevelopment commission. The redevelopment commission met earlier today, and they
Dana?
asked to,
Where? I don't have it.
Should have gotten an email.
I asked you, and you make copies for all of them, since it needs to be signed by one person. I make copies right now.
yeah, it's one page that we'll go over.
Okay.
So,
Is everybody good with that, or you want a copy?
No, I'm good.
Good, okay.
you want to make copies, we'll go through it at the same time? Well, she's doing that again, there's set the stage, the Monroe County, I used to be on that board. The Owen County Redevelopment Commission met today, and the purpose is they are trying to acquire property for the new jail. And they have searched extensively for the last couple of years and have been unable to find a suitable location. Well, now at this point in time, there is a location that is backed by the Rogers unsupported area, IMI area, between the YMCA and the Walmart. And so the county is looking at building the jail on 9.57 acres. Now, there's still lots of work that they're doing to make sure the site's suitable and things like that. That's going on concurrently with this. The gentleman that owns that property is interested in 96 acres that the county had owned on the south side of Franklin Street. And it is the location where the previous county landfill is located.
Franklin Road, not Franklin Street, right? That's out here.
South of Franklin
Okay.
Road. And there's 96 acres there, and it's wooded. There is, except for the area where the landfill's at. Now, that landfill, that cap must be maintained. IDEM is required that you can't dig through it, you can't allow vegetation, trees or something to breach that. You've got to make sure that your erosion is taken care of. So the counties have been doing that for years. And there is another small clearing area on the northwest side, but it's not very large. The Brett Franklin, who represents the owner of the property that the county rents, called the jail site property. So he has the jail site property, and he is, in the county, are considering a swap, where they'll give them 96 acres. It's again wooded and has the landfill on it for 9.57 acres that that Mr. Franklin is in charge of and represents. And so there's two concurrent things happening. Already, the Owen County Commissioners have transferred that 96 acres over to the Redevelopment Commission. And so it is in the hands of the Redevelopment Commission at this time. So for them to be able to, so the Redevelopment Commission owns that, so they're going to have to do the land swap, they're going to have to offer it for sale for 30 days first. So that publication will be coming out soon. There'll be a hearing on September 17th, public hearing. So that's the big public hearing for the school transfer. September 17th at 6 p.m. And at that time, the Redevelopment Commission will open bids, if there are any. And the Redevelopment Commission has choices that they can, if they receive no bids, they just don't have any, and they move forward. If they receive bids, they could reject them if they felt that what the needs of the county was outweighed that, and or they could accept it if it's a really good offer. So again, those offers have to be in by September 17th. So currently you got.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
That landfill, after we transfer, is it their responsibility to do it? Or is this the
Yes,
county?
we're accepting the responsibility of it. They have been given all the documentation of what the IDEM requirements are.
And I will say this, frankly, I know during the fair, there was a discussion about this, and I had a person tell me, said, my God, they're creating 9 acres for 96. It's like water, sewer, commercial spot, hills and hollers, and landfill. You know, we're not talking about apples to apples.
Yeah.
We're talking about acreage, so.
So,
Due to the topography, there's not a building site on that. That property would be best suited for timber, agricultural, or
Maybe
recreational.
You could maybe get a house site there on 43 in Franklin.
That little spot,
Yeah.
possibly, yeah. The larger spot is where the landfill's at.
do we know how long the remediation is? How much longer? What's the time frame?
Forever.
Forever? It's never released from that? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, those are continuing in
Right.
perpetuity, whoever owns the property.
And
they
if
gotta
somebody
do that.
bought that, they'd have to monitor the methane coming out of there and all that, right?
That, all of that part has been completed. So this is post-closure, it's already been officially closed, but you still have a landfill there.
Right.
You've still got to keep it controlled. So basically, again, it's maintaining the path.
Right.
And so the county goes out there, they inspect it, and if there's any erosion, they fix it, they mow it, keep it mowed. It can be used for hay, it could be used for a park or something basically above ground. But Mr. Franklin deals in timber. So to him, that has some value, doesn't want to buy it, but realizes that, he could get some value out of it if he worked it correctly. And the county has felt that they don't have any other options on the site. It's just not one that has utilities available that's large enough. And this is as close as they've found. And so the process, had the county tried to do it themselves, is very difficult. The redevelopment commission, however, is looking at the redevelopment of the county and what's going to be best for the county and as a whole. So they still have hurdles that they've got to jump through, but it's less intensive than the commissioners would have to do. And so that's why a swap like this is going through the redevelopment commission. So you have the two tracks going. One, trying to acquire the 9.57 acres, and then the other trying to prepare for trade the property for 96 acres. So you have an acquisition track that's going on. At the same time, you have the disposition track going on. And so what we'll discuss here tonight is in order to acquire the new site, the jail site, tonight's actual resolution has nothing to do with it. 96 acres, but it's always important to know why it is. This is about increasing the assets of the redevelopment commission by acquiring the 9.57 acres for the jail site. And so to do that, they have to add that to their asset list. And so to add to the asset list, they have to amend the economic development plan. And so I'll go through it and then we can discuss it more. So this would be a resolution of the Owen County Advisory Plan Commission determining that a resolution and an amendment to the economic development plan for the State Road 43 corridor economic development area approved and adopted by the Owen County Redevelopment Commission conform to the plan of development for Owen County, Indiana, and approving the resolution and plan amendment. Whereas the Owen County Advisory Plan Commission, the Plan Commission, is the body charged with the duty of developing a general plan of development for Owen County, Indiana, the county. Whereas the Owen County Redevelopment Commission, the governing body is the governing body of the Owen County Department of Redevelopment, previously adopted and amended resolutions, collectively the declaratory resolution, establishing an economic development area known as the State Road 43 corridor economic development area, and approving an economic development plan for the area, the original plan, pursuant to Indiana Code 36-7-14 as amended herein to the Act. Whereas the Redevelopment Commission on August 20, 2024 approved and adopted a resolution amending the declaratory resolution and the original plan for the area to add certain real estate in the county to the Redevelopment Commission's acquisition list, and the original plan as set forth in Exhibit A attached to the resolution, plan amendment. And whereas the Redevelopment Commission has submitted the resolution and plan amendment to this plan commission for approval pursuant to the provisions of section 16 of the act. Whereas the plan commission has reviewed the resolution and the plan amendment and determined that they conform to the plan of development for the county and now desires to approve the resolution and the plan amendment. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Owen County Advisory Plan Commission as follows. The Plan Commission hereby finds and determines that the resolution and the plan amendment conform to the plan of the development for the county. 2, that the resolution and the plan amendment are hereby approved. And 3, this resolution hereby constitute the written order of the Plan Commission approving the resolution and plan amendment pursuant to section 16 of the act. 4, the secretary is hereby directed to file a copy of the resolution and plan amendment with the minutes of this meeting, passed and resolved by the Owen County Planning Commission this 20th day of August 2024. So, again, this resolution is saying that it is okay to add the jail site to the acquisition list. This does not mean that the county or the redevelopment commission has to actually acquire it. If something's determined that this isn't the right place, it isn't for the jail, the brakes can be put on still. This is not locking in any transaction. It is just saying that yes, the redevelopment commission has already said that yes, and asking you to say yes, that it is okay to put this 9.57 acres onto the acquisition list. So again, it's not saying that it has to be acquired. It's just saying that there is the ability to have it acquired.
Dana, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Plan for the State Road 43 corridor economic development, and you're talking about West 46.
Right. The redevelopment plan is to provide benefits to the county. So by acquiring, it doesn't.
I guess what I'm saying is, why are we referencing the 43 corridor when we're putting the
Because
property?
that's where the current property is.
But he just said this doesn't affect that property in any way, shape, or form,
No.
right?
Right.
So
I
I'm,
think you just said it's not binding.
right.
I said it's not, putting it on the list does not make it binding until the acquisition is held. There is property already held by the redevelopment commission that's in their zone that is located along State Road 43.
So we've already moved
This does not
that.
have to be a contiguous property.
Okay.
It's just another property that is determined by the redevelopment commission would help in developing the county. There's a myriad of benefits and things that you guys have already.
Well,
You're just wanting that acreage included in that 43 corridor.
Yes.
Can you, I think I know where you're talking about, the property. Can you describe for everyone in here what that property is and what it's currently being used for?
Yes, I actually have.
And this property came before us a year ago to be changed from,
No, that was a conditional use.
yeah, conditional use variance.
That went to
The
BZA.
BZA, I'm sorry. So we gave them a conditional variance to do the offloading and loading of lumber, their logs, at that location that used to be the rock quarry. So they have a conditional use variance from the BZA currently on that property, just for full disclosure.
And they're going to continue to keep the 20 acres in the back.
All right, so does this transaction supersede that? Are they gonna have to come back and ask for that again?
Not as long as whatever they want. If it was approved for that entire site, then no. They can get rid of part of the site and still keep doing what they're doing on the property.
Okay,
Because you approved it for the entire parcel.
fair enough.
I emailed this to you real quick.
Put it on the screen real quick.
Let me
We'll take questions at the end.
do that.
Yeah,
I mean, it's been,
well, the problem is, or it's not a problem.
if we gave it to someone, it would generate more taxes
Right.
than what we're getting on it
Yeah.
at timber sales.
Getting it back on the tax rolls would be beneficial, and it's very, very limited on what can be done with it. That's the problem.
But it's all of that. The county farm includes South Franklin Road, north of Franklin Road, where the countertop factory is, was part of the county farm. Yes.
And the county would be retaining that property north.
Right.
Yeah, you're literally selling everything, the old landfill and the piece of
Which is,
ravine that's attached to it.
We're not selling.
Or selling, you transferred it already, and that's already been transferred, correct? Redevelopment has it now?
Yeah, that 96 acres?
Yes.
The county commissioners have already transferred that. You can transfer ownership between governmental units without appraisals, without anything, as long as they pass similar resolutions, the property can be transferred. And so the thought is once all of this land swap is done, that the redevelopment commission then would transfer that 9.57 acres over to the commissioners so that they could build the jail.
Could they refuse to do that?
The redevelopment commission, they could, because they both have to pass, I mean, that's the whole purpose of doing this.
So what's the county's protection from them saying, you know what, we decided we're going to open it up to the free market and sell it?
Oh, the redevelopment commission?
Yes.
Well, you've got a commissioner and a council person on there. You have a person appointed by the council, appointed by the commissioner's representative on there. And so that's your
It's kind of our protection.
protection.
But there's nothing in writing, I guess is what I'm saying.
Right.
Okay, all right.
So
That's-
what is the 9.57 acre?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're working on that. Like I said, verbally, it's, there's a little road between the YMCA and Walmart that goes back to this old quarry site, and it's a part of that.
That's the old Wingers
Quarry site.
Yes.
So, did you able to see that picture?
Do it.
Huh?
I didn't, I haven't gotten anything.
He didn't send it to her.
Technology wonderful.
Yeah. Especially around here.
All right.
So this, what's currently on your screen right now is the quarry property that just sits behind the Walmart. So it would be, based on the information, it would sort of be,
So the,
about here. It's only 7, but
yeah, it would go
it'd be
further
bigger
to
than
the-
that. Yeah,
Yeah, go a little further to the north on that side.
yeah.
So it would follow along the tree line here, follow, and have the whole bottom line.
Here, let me make it bigger for you. There you go.
Okay. So it would go from here to here, and from there to a little bit further north.
Yeah.
And then it followed along the side of the road. So there is sewer available to the YMCA. So one of the things the redevelopment commission is doing is getting an estimate of what it would take to get that sewer to the actual site, but it's pretty close. There's water already there. And so this is the facility that they would build their version of this. So it's all the area in the back where they're processing and dealing with all of their timber is not a part of it. It's this front area that they're not using. And that would allow them, again, to continue their operations there. And that would allow the county to have a piece of property. It's very difficult to get, 9.5 acres of property that, around Spencer anywhere that has utilities.
Yeah.
And that's been the major downfall. And this few that you have, you can't, they're not for sale, but, so there's just not that many that's this large. The minimum size you would want for a facility like this is about 5 acres, but it's better to have it closer to 10, because as things grow, the great thing about this design is that if you need more, you simply grow off the side of it and bring in the tile. Across the top, this is the day room basically, so this could be more pods, and then you could open up a day room out here, depending on how many pods you may want. These pods are interesting because they come in and they're like a box, pre-made box. You just bring it in, you set it down, you plumb it,
Did
and
you ever
wire
go
it.
to the jail? Did you ever go to the jail?
It's got a lot of safeguards for like
Ours?
sewage and stuff. A lot of times they like to shove stuff down. So this allows you to shut everything off. You can shut an individual cell off. You can shut the whole block off. It's got a lot of good ways.
It's gonna be a lot better than what they got now.
I'm sorry?
A lot than what they have now.
So
And
Dana,
the problem with the existing site, that people talk about, what about the existing site? Well, for one thing, it would cost $2 million to take all those inmates and place them somewhere else. And then you have the cost of tearing everything down. Then that property's too small. And also that property, especially when they raise the 2-foot flood zone, that's going to be another issue. There's also a major utilities running through that area.
I've been in that jail, so I mean, I don't even know how
bad
I can
shape.
stand looking at it.
So
Yeah.
the road that goes back there, what is the situation with it? Just, I mean, that doesn't have any bearing on this. I'm just curious.
I believe that part of that is going to be that they're going to dedicate that road to the county. The county's going to take over that road. It's in good-
County will maintain it. It'll be paved and
And
widened.
it's in good shape right now. It's a
Oh,
good
well.
road.
And probably after
Want it
the
to need to be
project's done. So we don't even have, there's nothing going on right now. We don't have the property, we don't, the jail's there's no plans. This is all in,
Too early.
maybe.
This
Yeah.
is paving the way for this.
We're asking questions that we have not to yet.
Without waiting at each, this is allowing things to happen all at once, because, again, the redevelopment commission isn't 100% sold on this yet, but they don't want to slow things down, so they're looking into it while we do this. This is not, let's say it's not a big deal. This is not anything that locks the county into anything. By passing this, all you're saying is that if the redevelopment commission decides that that is a good parcel to go for, then they can move forward with it, because you're allowed to go.
We have
into
our
that
approval.
position.
The whole real estate community has looked for something for the county, and that's the only thing we've got without spending big bucks to sue it way out.
It is, it's, I mean, I know that the commissioners have been looking for, as long as I've been here, which is almost 2 years.
As long for my term.
So,
And the biggest thing, like you said, Bill, the property where it's located now is sinking. Why do we want to build another one on it and watch this one sink too in 20 years?
We should have never built that road.
Yeah, right, it should have never been there to begin with.
The people that been my ear when I'm not here there's a couple of things. Number one, I think if we were a little more transparent on here's what this property appraised for, here's what this property appraised for, here's the detriment to this property and what the problems are, here's the advantage of this property. None of that has ever been disseminated out to the public in a way other than hearsay and the rumor mill. That would have made this process a heck of a lot easier, in my opinion.
Well, one thing to help that is that in the, again, the redevelopment commission has to put that property out to bid for 30 days, at least 30 days, it'll actually end up being a little bit. And what happens is that there was 2 appraisals on that property, and you have to set your minimum at the average between the 2. And so on that, what's going out to the public, it's going to be put in the paper next week, is going to show that that average for the 96 acres is $337,500.
Okay?
That's the average. The thing is that when you're negotiating with the other side, you don't show all your cards, because that could upset the deal,
Right.
depending on what it is. And so until you can lock the sale in, then you don't want to share all your information. And so I understand people's nerve. It was just, at 2 o'clock today, they had the redevelopment commission meeting, and there was a lot of discussion about that.
Right, because the 337,000 whatever, that's taxpayers' money. Whatever we spend, whatever the deal is that's worked out, we're still spending taxpayer money. And so because of that, I think this process would have gone easier, and I understand what you're saying. Yeah, when you're negotiating, you hold your cards close to the vest, but people that are going to be paying for this are on edge, and because of the positions we're in, I don't know if you've had it, I know you've had it, I've had it. We've had these discussions with people, and we have nothing to tell them except, well,
Well, I can say the big thing is they're looking 9.5 acres, 96.
Right.
But again,
but unless you tell them that, Bill, they don't know it.
You
But what's your timber evaluation do?
buy that 9.5.
What's that?
What's the timber value?
I'm sorry?
I don't think if
Franklin's
you were
not
out
gonna
to
buy
buy
it.
this 9.5 acres, you could buy it for 330. I mean, whenever Riddle's lot down here sells for $500,000,
Right.
you know, I mean,
Well, I agree with you. All I'm saying is, the people that I've talked to,
but again, you
their
don't want to show your
whole,
hand.
right, their whole stumbling block is they don't know.
Well, one of the things that Holly mentioned was, well, they don't know if, there's $1 million difference. Well, now that you know there's $337,500, you know there's $1 million
Right.
difference between.
I mean, that's gonna help right there, and we're on YouTube,
I
so.
think that helps.
That's going to help the public, but does it help us in negotiations?
Well, it's already been disclosed, or he wouldn't have said it here.
Because of the law, so we have to, in order to offer for sale, you have to have a minimum price.
I understand.
So, I wish Mr. Burton would have, paid, or Craig Hoffman would have been great, but I think that I didn't think about it. Would have been. But they went through it intently, and again, the nice thing is that even if this is added to the acquisition list, again, you don't have to go through it.
Right.
I don't know why anybody would ever do it. I don't know if maybe we got them to sign an option where they couldn't get out of it, but we could, that we could disclose things, but I don't know who anyone would want to do that. It's an idea, but it's true. So that means we can't go into a contract to do the swap, do the exchange, until we've been through that 30 days and we've had that public hearing.
Gotcha.
And so it's difficult, so what
that's the
you're going
September
to
hearing.
hear is a lot of what was being discussed here. Location, the amount of acreage, what other choices do you have to do this? The fact that county's owned that 96 acres for 70 years and got absolutely nothing out of it or done anything with it or had any plans to do anything with it.
Well, it's actually costing us money because we have to maintain all the testing and everything.
What's your temporary valuation?
I'm sorry?
What's the temporary valuation on that?
Well,
That's up and down.
it was discussed,
Well, I mean, today's market.
but if you take that timber off that property is now absolutely worthless. Well, you know,
Well, 10 years, in 10 years, if
For-
you do it right, 10 years,
for-
you're marketing again.
for a while, it's just gonna be worthless. And so,
Well,
to-
I disagree with that. I mean,
Sorry.
I disagree with that. I mean, if you market timber correctly, 10 years, you're doing it again.
Probably 15, but and the thing is, though, if you take 10,000,
Now, our
I'm
county's
talking
not done
from
anything
real
for
estate
this for
standpoint, if you
years.
take $10,000
should.
of timber off the property, I'm just calling out a number, you have devalued that, resell that property after your timber probably 12.
Hmm.
It's about 25%.
No, when you timber property correctly, then you get
No,
the
the
other.
minute you show it to a buyer and says, my God, they timbered
Give the other
this, they
trees
taking
the
all the good
opportunity to
stuff.
grow.
I've done this for 46 years.
I've been in that business too. That's,
So,
I just wonder what the property or the timber valuation was.
again, if you tried to, the fact was if you timber it and then you try to sell it, who's gonna buy it? This guy wouldn't buy it because he's not gonna wait 15 years to do it. He wants what's there. So that's the point, is the timing,
It's not
not
like it's a virgin
that.
thing.
It's, and nobody's ever asked for it before, and county's never even.
Consider timber.
No, we have.
the meeting on the 17th is the meeting for what?
That is for the public hearing.
The public
That
hearing?
is where.
And that's at 6.
It's all gonna be presented to the public, assuming it even gets there, because redevelopment commission may say, hey, this isn't the right site. But if they do, they think that this is the right site, then they will explain why they believe this is the right site, why they believe this is a good for the county to do, and then the public can weigh in. And then the redevelopment commission would make a decision following that, and if they decided to pursue it, then they could enter into a contract.
We'll probably need to have a meeting out in the hallway there like we did that one time.
That, their meeting's gonna be at the school.
They're gonna do
Yes,
it.
yeah.
An auditorium?
Yeah,
But
it'll be
we
at
also
the
have
high
a public
school.
hearing that night too.
Yeah.
It'll be at the high school and the auditorium.
So we can't even go?
To accommodate as many people who want to come out.
So we can't go to it because we have a meeting?
We got a meeting that night.
That stinks.
All right.
Up and down.
Anything else, Dana?
No, on behalf of the redevelopment commission, they're asking for your approval.
I would have liked to have seen some of those guys here, or girls, again. I don't know who's all on it, but
Yeah.
I would like to have seen at least one of them here to answer some questions. That would have been nice. But they're not, so it's okay.
What's the resolution number?
It would be the first one of the years, so it would be 2024-001.
I move we pass resolution.
Okay. Got a motion by Bill to,
I'll second it.
Second.
oh, you'll second? I thought you said 1 second.
I'm after.
I'm hard of hearing, I'm old. Motion made by Bill Purcell, seconded by Donna McIntyre and you guys are saying to sign this and move it forward? Yeah. Okay. All right, you heard the motion and a second approved. All in favor of moving this, or signing this and continuing it on by show of hands? 2, 4, and opposed? And you're abstaining? So, 3-2? I guess that, 4-2. 4-2,
Yeah.
okay.
And then one's
4-2 and 1. Who?
Abstained.
Chad abstained, right? Okay, so 4-2-1. So we will move it on. Huh?
We have a quorum, but don't have any.
What's that?
She asked about a quorum. We have a quorum.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
have
there's
enough.
only 2 missing, so we have a quorum.
Point of order,
Yes?
quorum required for a vote to pass for the planning commission. The quorum is based upon the entire membership number, so you must have you have, what, 9 members of your commission?
Yes.
Therefore, a quorum would be 5. That's a matter of
It
statute.
takes, yes.
We have 5 here, though. We
Yeah.
have 7.
He wants
Your
to
vote
abstain.
No,
was
but
four
the-
and one.
Because he
To pass a
abstained.
resolution, it has to be the majority of the entire commission.
Okay, so we need 5.
Right.
So we can't do anything with it then.
So it fails for lack of,
Yeah, because we don't have enough members.
Right.
We're short 2 members.
Didn't have enough votes to approve.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So I guess it does not pass then, 4-2-1.
We tried.
Required 5 to pass.
Got a special rule for all this. Quorum is to conduct business.
The quorum can conduct business, but, and I'll look at the rules again, but to take official action, it has to be a majority of the
I
entire.
realize that we're always 2 people short of our meeting.
Yeah.
We'll never get anything accomplished if we go by those rules.
Yeah, 'cause that was going last month.
Mayor, Mr.
I have
President,
something else to discuss for you. I'll look at something from the video in a few minutes.
All right, so, yes.
This is something positive, considering that it did not pass. May I respectfully suggest that you consider, since they only notified you at 3 o'clock today, and they referenced the economic development plan, I doubt any of you, if this board has a copy of the economic development plan before you. So to be able to review that, to understand how it is referenced in the resolution, would be adequate for you to use as a cause or a reason to come back later for another vote, to allow you time to review.
We would need that in a motion, wouldn't we? Dan? If we wanted to continue this to the next
Yes.
meeting, we'd need a motion for that, to that effect?
Yes. The first motion did not pass.
Right, so it's dead.
Make another.
Right.
So we just need to make a motion
Yeah.
to,
You could have additional discussion, and vote again, you could vote to continue it.
I'll leave it to the council. What do you want to do with
We
this?
need to vote to renew it later.
Well, I'm just curious, those who voted against or did not vote, what's your reasoning?
A lot of it has to do with just, I really know, like you said, we just found out about this got lighter ago.
So this
Like to
push-
know more, but
this pushes everything back, because they can't do that, notice can't go out.
Yeah, I realize that, but, you know, we got to have 5. We don't have 5.
But he did,
Fair Week, there was a commissioners meeting where they were talking about this, because Baron Barrett was getting ready to organize a whole bunch of people marching here and protest, and he said, you need to get down there. I said, wait a minute. You know, because again, he was 9.5 acres, 96, that seems like the county's getting ripped off.
well, I mean, the infrastructure, the water and power getting it to the new property, there's a property out on Franklin Road.
What was it, 8 million, 9 million? they
9
said,
million.
To get it out there?
Just sewer, just sewer.
That outweighs, yeah, like you say, it's pretty likely that these two properties are about the same value, even though there's so much more out Franklin Road infrastructure.
I don't have a hard time swallowing it. I think if it would have been put out there that way, it would have made life a lot easier on a lot of people. I know my ears wouldn't have been burning as much.
Some of the other people that came here and talked about it, I suggest.
What's that?
Some of the other people that were involved when they came here and talked about it.
Would have been-
That would have been nice.
Explain things a little better.
Right.
That's one of my main reasons. I just don't have, I want the information from those people.
Well, and I don't like that I found out about it by watching a YouTube video of the other meeting.
So I'm I'm just opposed to that till we can hear some more information
Right.
from other people.
Right. So,
I don't like things from,
Well, they're not gonna be able to come to our meeting next month because they're
No.
gonna be at the high school.
So they can't
For
have
the-
that meeting.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so they're at a standstill. So nothing can be done until next month. When we have our meeting,
Is
right?
it possible for us to call a special meeting like so much more? Invite them
and actually get somebody from the redevelopment commission here, whether it be Gary or whoever.
to, Lena, is that possible?
Exactly what are you
Well, we
wanting?
could call for a special meeting for next month's meeting.
Hear from somebody that's on.
Yes, you could,
What's the deal?
call a special meeting, with 48 hours notice. It could be
And then that way you
a
still have your
joint
meeting next month.
Meeting, if the, wanted to get both, boards together, to discuss it, that is definitely possible, to have a special meeting.
I would move that we do that.
Yeah, that'd be good.
So is that a motion and a second that I hear?
I'll
Yeah.
second.
Okay. So, motion and
48 hours
a
is a little
second.
short.
Yeah, I don't know that I could do it Thursday, but
But I mean,
maybe next week.
next Tuesday, set 7.
Does anybody have,
I'm fine next
you
Tuesday.
got your calendars in front of you, what would next Tuesday look like for everybody?
Okay, next Tuesday would be the 27th.
Ken?
The 27th.
You make that?
Even I got something in the morning, we'd like to make an evening meeting.
Yeah, I
Make
can make it.
27th?
The 27th.
I'd have to make some other plans, but yeah, I can make it. 'Cause I
So
really
Here's
don't
the
wish-
problem, if we come back and we've got 5 people sitting
You
here,
get Amy and,
yeah, we're gonna be in the same boat we're in tonight.
you gotta get Amy.
So we have to have everybody here.
Either that or we have to have minimum, I mean, if there's 7, we have to have 5,
Just so you know, the budget hearings start on the 28th, so,
which is when?
that's next Wednesday.
Yeah, 'cause next Wednesday I have
28th
my hip done.
Through the 30th is budget hearings, so, I mean, they're gonna be in here all day, and then sometimes they go into the evening, so you couldn't have it after Wednesday anyways because of that.
Well, I wouldn't be able to come on Wednesday because I have to.
Yeah,
He's got
Wednesday,
surgery, we'll be
Thursday.
down another person.
Just so you're aware that the budget hearings start next week.
How rude of you to have a surgery.
So Tuesday, I mean, if Tuesday works for everybody, then
Okay,
I don't believe there's
So
anything in here.
Tuesday-
I didn't take public comment either, so we'll do that in just a second. Everybody in favor of meeting next Tuesday as a joint? Who's gonna make connection with the RDC? That'd be you, would that be Dana?
I'm sorry,
Try to get the RDC here next Tuesday as well?
I would.
You can make at least one of them, just somebody we can put a name with a face.
I think there's only 4 on that committee, isn't there?
Out of
5.
I got
Five.
5?
Yeah, Hunter Stocksville was the 5th one, that the county, there was a county council appointment that was vacant, so he was appointed by the county council and sworn in. So you have Gary Burton, Bobby Hall,
Yep.
Craig Hoffman, Holly Jesser, and Hunter Stocksville, and they passed the resolution leading to this one 5-0 after.
So we're gonna try to do that then next Tuesday at 6?
Yeah, that's, we need to vote on it. We've got to
Before we
vote.
vote, though,
Yeah.
and I just my motion.
Uh-huh.
Before we vote, I still am questioning that rule.
I'm looking.
So you're looking at, yeah, can we take public
There's
comment?
different actions that you can take. And so it depends on, there's some things that you send to the commissioners with recommendation. There's other things that you actually pass. And this would be one of those that you pass. So I'm trying to look to see if there's a distinction. So that's why I need a few minutes. We'll take public comments.
Yeah, it's under official
I
action.
need to,
required.
to state the time too, I mean, we gotta state a time.
6:30.
6:30.
Yep. 6:30, all right, Bill? I'm amending his,
Or did you second it?
Yeah.
The motion, okay. I just wanted to verify, because I thought I heard him.
I'm gonna hold the vote while Dana does what he's doing, and then I'll see if there's anybody that has public comment. So would anybody like to speak on this resolution specifically? Don't talk about anything else we've seen tonight or that's on the agenda, just that resolution. And I'm gonna limit you because we're getting long.
Very briefly, on this particular resolution, please first have a copy of what they are referencing regarding that resolution in order to make that determination. And you have the resolution, but they reference the plan.
Right.
Also, I did not hear any regards, according to the comprehensive plan, as to whether or not a change in the redevelopment plan aligns with the comprehensive plan, which is one of the matters.
Right, but this is just the resolution. We would deal with that. They'd have to come back for that at some point.
But if you are accepting the resolution that you are allowing them to modify their existing plan, I believe it goes beyond the scope of just the four corners of that resolution. And again, without the resolution being made available for you or the public to read, it's very difficult to be able to interchange and engage in that. But thank you for taking the time to slow down and at least review it and give it a review regard. You're supposed to be.
Okay. Anybody else? No? Okay. Then we will wait on,
Rule 2.08 is official action. Action of the commission is not official unless it is authorized at a regular or special meeting by a majority of the entire membership of the commission. It does not separate it out into categories like zoning changes.
so any, geez.
And we need 5 votes to pass. for a commission.
All right, well, so then let's vote on next Tuesday, a special meeting called with the proviso that it's at 6:30 and also that there's someone from the redevelopment commission, at least one person come to that meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Well, I mean, you'll take a friendly,
I would also maybe like to add somebody from economic development, because we're referencing their plan also.
right?
I have a copy of it because I was on that committee, but most people don't.
So are they not one and the same then?
No.
No, okay.
That's
Shows you what I know.
I got so many
No,
different
they're-
ones.
All right, so that's the motion, and we've had a proper second. Everybody in favor of a special meeting 6:30 with a member from RDC and from the Economic Development Commission, show of hands. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 7-0. All right, I guess I'll see everybody next Tuesday for that one. When will we know if we can get those folks in that meeting?
Text and mail.
Okay, the sooner the, I mean, if we have a meeting and they don't show, that's gonna be, we'll be right back at the same boat we're in. The other thing is, we're gonna have to reach out to our 2 wayward members and encourage them, because that's putting us at that's tying our hands.
Surveyor should be here.
All right. Whew. Number or C, discuss on fines. He's, okay, he's, so, I don't understand how this is under our purview, but I'm sure it'll be revealed to, I know. I'm just intrigued by this, but.
This is a reference to the ordinance officer, correct? Discussion of fund.
This is actually in discussion of a piece of property that was provided a cease and desist 2 weekends ago? What weekend was it? 2 weekends ago? 2 weekends ago. And they were told to not have an event on the property because they're not zoned to have events.
And
They hadn't got
anyways.
proper special events,
Yep.
paperwork, and they still had the event, even though they received a letter hand delivered to them, plus it was mailed to them.
May I ask where this is?
It is on Mill Grove Road. It is Nancy's Broken Arrow. It is an archery. They have been shooting arrows into the neighbors' properties.
Wow, sounds like the guns when they came up behind us and left us like, from the gun range.
So, and they were told to not do that because they had a big, they had a lot of people there over the weekend. And they were told not to do that.
They probably partied and,
Those are the things I was gonna go over with you, because there's there's one set of fines that the planning commission get, and then the commissioners can fine them for another.
Well, while Dana's doing what Dana's doing, is there any public comment on this, the archery range, discussion of the fines? Yeah, come forward, state your name and your address. Tell us what you got.
My name is Will Dobbinspec. My address, I have 3 addresses, 10798, 10802, and 10800 Mill Grove Road.
Okay.
I have property that butts up to the property that is considered to be Nancy's Broken Arrow. And there was a major change when Bob was there versus his stepdaughter, I believe it is. They've been shooting archery there for a long time.
Okay.
I could work with Bob. I would say, hey, Bob, I'm getting arrows, you need to do something. He would take care of it. Since then, we've actually built a house on the property. We sectioned off a piece of property for my son and built a house up there. And I've asked multiple times of her to do something with it. She hasn't. And then proceeding forward, it's just like she's well above the law out there and just does whatever she wants, which is creating major safety issues, not only for myself, but for my family as well as my campers. So something needs to be done, most definitely. I know that after the paperwork was served to them, I called the sheriff's department on Saturday because the shoot was going on. I thought it needed to go on to some sort of public record. And the sheriff's officer basically took their side.
wow.
It was quite disturbing to me.
So hang on a sec. Let me ask you a question. You may not know the answer to it.
Sure.
And you can just tell me you don't know. So after we served them with a cease and desist from Owen County, you called the sheriff's department and they said, oh, well?
That's exactly correct. As a matter of fact, I called the sheriff's department twice. The first time to say, hey, I don't think this event's supposed to be going on, and you need to come out here.
Don't you have a campground?
I own the campground,
Yeah,
yes,
that's what I'm
ma'am.
saying, so I mean,
Do you know who you spoke to?
that's stupid.
I
You don't
do.
have to- You don't have to tell me the name of.
Yes, I do. I have it all. I was texting with him afterwards. You can't believe some of the things that I dealt with on that Saturday.
There's
What
kids
did
at
they
that
shoot at on
campground.
that? I mean, this is what, 30 acres?
It's 25 acres, and they have 36 shoots on 25 acres.
What part of that?
What part of it? All over it.
Can you show us up here? Just step to the map up there and show us.
Sure. So this
You got kids.
is the corner of my property right here. And they love to put shooting out onto my property all the way down through here.
You can see the trails right
Wow.
there.
Okay, yeah, you can see their shooting lines. And they actually have cross shots, which is dangerous on their property. I'm like, why would you do that? But as well, where the issue really comes is where it comes to here. And you can see their shoot right there. Right there. My son's house is right over here. I have grandchildren. I have my son, my daughter. It's just not safe.
Well, you got kids that's around there from the campground, so why is
As
it?
well as, you can see, there's a line around the exterior of the woods, and we have little areas that we go back into the woods. This is a golf cart path. My campers, this is my property, can ride all the way around this woods
Yeah.
and look for nature. We got a lot of deer, we got a lot of turkey. These people were from the city. They're great people, but they're not used to seeing that. That's a big deal.
Yeah, it is.
But on top of that, we make hay here. So all these arrows that go past their substantial backstops, which is no bigger than the kill area on their targets, end up in this field that we make hay on.
So why did the police say if they didn't want to pursue anything? I don't understand.
But he told me, he said he deemed it safe.
He deemed it safe.
He deemed it safe, and this is the reason he deemed it safe, because of my property.
What's
Because
that
he
have to
doesn't,
do?
understand property lines. Let me give an example. Right here, this chute, they moved it down here into this corner, right here, with a very small backstop on it. I took 3 arrows and had to cut them off in my trees. That's my trees, not their trees, my trees.
I don't understand how.
But yet
law
again, the
enforcement
policeman
can do anything.
deemed it safe the first go-round. So after I'm sending him stuff, because he's like, just tell me, I'm going out here to take pictures of what I already showed him and what is happening. I got cussed out on my own property. I got begged to come over onto Nancy's Broken Arrow by 9 guys. I called the sheriff's department. I actually tried to call the deputy direct because he asked me to. He did not answer. I recalled the sheriff's department. He calls me back and he basically told me that, you know what, you guys can have your own piss and match,
Oh, that's not right.
okay?
That's not right.
I'm not gonna, I can't deal with this. This is not the way this is supposed to be.
It's not safe for anybody, whether it's campsite or it's your grandkids.
How far can a compound bow shoot an arrow? That's my question.
Well, and the bigger,
Contacted DNR. I don't mean to interrupt, but I had the same. DNR.
I did contact.
Pam,
the CO.
you're out of order. I'm sorry, but you're out of order.
Sorry.
So, and that was done earlier in the week. The problem is, and I'm not gonna say names, but a lot of the deputies and a lot of CO officers go there and shoot.
Oh, so that's why they don't want to do anything in a roundabout way.
But I don't know how anybody can deem, the police officer told me, you're more than welcome to walk the property line. I says, I know I'm more than welcome to, am I safe? And he goes, well, I said, well, why don't you just get on my golf cart and we'll just go drive my property line. I don't have time for that. So I beg you guys to please do something to bring this back
Something
in
needs to
line.
be done because it's not safe. Is anybody else
Did you
aggravated
speak
over
with the
that?
sheriff?
Jesse, the
Did you
other,
speak with the sheriff?
I'm sorry,
Did you speak with the sheriff?
I did not speak with the sheriff. The way I understood it is the county attorney spoke with the sheriff.
You should be.
I believe. I don't know. I mean, who do I go to next? I mean, I feel like I got totally waylaid because there's connections to this place, and I can't prove it, but I'm working on that. But I'm pretty sure the deputy shot Saturday night at their night shoot, which I totally agree with. You think a day shoot's bad? Let's shoot at night. Jesse, the other neighbor on the other side, which has been dealing with this longer than I have, was going to be here tonight. So he could have his piece to say. The man has cancer.
So we're failing kids at this campground. As a
Sorry.
public service, our law enforcement is failing to protect the kids at the campground. No matter how you look at it,
So I'm asking you if you could talk to the sheriff about it.
why should he have to?
I'll do it.
Because that's the deputy's boss.
Well,
Well,
I'm more than happy to talk to the sheriff about anything, but this is a
You had to
zoning
bring in the
problem. That's an
attorney.
agricultural property, and they're running a business. I mean, they got a sign right on 231 at the junction of
Again,
Harvard.
I guess, I understand, I'm just saying that your complaints with the deputy not doing
Correct.
his job, that is,
And I'll deal with that at a later time.
Can we, you got anything else? Because he's ready now. I appreciate it, thank you.
Thank you.
And then we'll pick up anybody else here in a minute.
Okay.
All right, Dana?
A cease and desist letter was given to the archery place, and let me move
Is
that.
it listed as a business?
Huh?
Is it listed as a business?
No, do we have a listing for a business there?
What is the property listed as?
Well, if you Google it, it's Nancy Broken Arrow is what it's
But is it listed as agriculture?
It's agricultural, yes, it is zoned
Is
agricultural.
that a permitted use on agricultural property?
No.
Okay.
There's
This is getting easier and easier.
Yeah.
two areas that were violated, and the discussion here tonight is over the violation of the zoning ordinance. So I sent, after consulting with the Susan and Gary, and you included on some of those emails as well?
I think I got anything for this. Did you would have.
So,
You got it right, because you're a patient.
I've got the one for commission.
Susan is the administrator of the.
Right. And she may have, and
Yeah.
I get a lot of email.
Yes.
Right. So, they were certified mail, and a copy was delivered to them, and it says that to William and Laura Beha, I represent the Owen County Commissioners and Planning Commission. Your archery range under the name of Nancy's Broken Arrow is not a permitted use in an agricultural zone per Owen County Code, OCC 155.003 and 155.027D, and is prohibited. Owen County Code, OCC 155.345A states that any use of land contrary to Chapter 155 is a common nuisance and a violation of the chapter. Penalties for violation of the zoning code can be up to $500 for each day of violation. Secondly, there was the fact that they did not get a special events permit, but that is not part of what was.
We're not taking that into consideration tonight?
Well, I can let you know that they violated it. In addition, special events are required to have a permit pursuant to Owen County Code 91.03. Failure to have a permit is a violation with penalties up to $2,500 per day, and that comes from Owen County Code 91.99. Law enforcement officers, including those of the Indiana Department of Natural Resources, may enforce this code for Owen County Code 91.11. And the Owen County Sheriff has been made aware of this issue. And so it was my understanding that two archery events were scheduled for the 9th and for the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. And these events must be canceled, or you will be in violation of the zoning code and the special event code, and will be fined appropriately. The Owen County Sheriff has been made aware of this issue. There are reports that numerous arrows have left the confines of the property, which is a public safety hazard. We must immediately cease and desist, allowing arrows to leave the confines of your property.
She could also get fined by DNR over that.
Well, I believe that it's also, we had made aware that the barn that they just built is being used as a wedding venue, which was told to them by me that was prohibited because they're not zoned for that. The building was not built to commercial code, as was the contractor who was building it, was both told verbally that the building could not be used for that purpose. And
Did we do an inspection on that building?
Yes, it did. And the contractor, after it was all said and done, told me that they had planned to use it as a wedding venue. And I said, that's not what it was built for, though.
and they were called, and I told them to not use it for that because they did not go through Homeland Security and all of that, which would have been a requirement of building anything with capacity. So there'd have to be fire codes met and all of that. And they didn't meet them.
I have no idea what it costs to shoot, but it looks like she owes us $3,000, but that's probably the cost of doing business.
But she still would have to come,
Well,
even
I'm
with
just
the
saying.
fine, she would have to come to you asking for the property to be
Right.
used for that
Well,
purpose.
that wouldn't do any good.
Well, what I'm saying is she just keeps violating, keeps paying the fine, she's probably generating more money than the fine.
Yeah, she's probably got liquor out there while they're you know,
Well, it's a day
bullshitting
rate,
around and
right?
Yeah.
what have
It's a
you.
day rate,
So
so,
the penalty is covered in section 155.999B, violation of the zoning code. Each day of a violation shall be considered as a separate infraction, meaning separate penalty. Major violations shall be defined as a violation resulting from an intentional act or careless disregard for these regulations. The penalty for major violations shall not exceed $500 for each infraction day of violation. Minor violations shall include violations resulting from inadvertent action or failure to act. The penalty for minor violations shall start at $50 for each infraction day of violation, and increase in a manner to be determined by the planning commission. The planning commission shall notify a violator that he or she is in violation of this chapter prior to assessment of penalties, which they were notified. This would be, I would interpret this to be a major violation because they know they did it. So the penalty says it cannot exceed $500, but it doesn't say what the penalty should be.
But she's fully aware that what she's doing is not right, because she built that building knowing that she couldn't do what she's doing with it.
You have a cease and desist order, which he disregarded.
The range is between 50 is the lowest because it is a violation, and 500 is the most.
And you don't have a money value of what somebody's life is gonna cost. If a child is hurt, or God forbid, somebody gets killed over this, and she can just do what she wants. I'm sorry, but the police department should be taking care of this.
So the higher your concern, the higher the fine.
Exactly. You can't just give her a slap on the
Well-
wrist and think that it's gonna go away.
This is an age-old problem, and I've been here 8 years, something like that. We have all these rules, and we have all these fines.
But nothing gets
people go,
enforced.
So what? And I don't know, we've collected 50 cents. You know,
we have collected.
but I mean, we have lots of them that are out there that,
Right, yes, but, we have collected fines.
there's lots of money that's due us that I don't know why we're not collecting.
So the zoning ordinance is 50 to 500, and then you said something about 91.03, which was 2,500. What is that one?
That is the one for the event. I haven't heard that, which is not part.
That's not us tonight.
Right,
But she doesn't have a permit that she's running on to do this, right?
exactly.
So why is, I guess I'm just confused. If she doesn't have a permit and you've got arrows that's coming on somebody's property and into an RV park, why is it difficult for the sheriff's office to go out there and say, look, we've been called 3 times, we need to do something? Why are we finding out in a planning board meeting about it? I mean,
Because they did not take action.
well, our
That's all I
job
can
is to
say
protect,
is
their
I
job is to
didn't do it.
protect the kids and stuff at this RV park. And we're left to say, well, we're sorry that the sheriff didn't feel it was necessary. I'm sorry.
The
That's
sheriff
BS.
didn't decide, the deputy did.
That's the
That's
reason
his,
I'm saying.
that's his decision. And the biggest thing is, if somebody does get killed, then he can be under a lawsuit
Yeah.
in court. The officer himself can. Now, maybe not the sheriff, but like I said, why or how come, I can't answer.
But I'm sure that even if it was a deputy, somewhere along the line, I'm sure the sheriff has been notified about it. I mean,
Yes, sure.
so why is he not stepping in and saying, you know, my officer was wrong, I'm gonna make this
Well-
right, and let's talk to it?
Is he's notified that the event took place, maybe not the extent of what happened there.
He was notified of what was set out.
I mean, the air was going on the other property and
Yes.
stuff.
The cease and desist letter was shared with the sheriff.
So he's aware of all that, and yet he's not here to say anything tonight? When we have a homeowner and a RV park owner that had to come to our meeting and ask for us to,
Right, this isn't the public hearing, so the one meeting notice, it's the action of the planning commission to determine what level of penalty that they want to set for this. I think it has to be 150 because 50 cents
Well,
is no
Our number's 500, it sounds like to me.
maximum, the max is 500.
Because,
I'll make a motion to do that.
right.
And I'll second that.
So we got a motion by Mike, seconded by Bill, to set the fine at 500, which is the maximum we can go.
How many days did it occur?
Was there a 2-day?
2 days.
So that would be $1,000.
But then are you gonna put in there that she's not to have one this weekend? Or how are you gonna do that?
Well, I mean, obviously that doesn't matter. I mean, you serve a cease and desist and they do it anyway.
And so he's gonna have the same problem this weekend.
Well,
It won't be this weekend, it's Labor Day weekend, it's the next shoot.
so here's my question then. Well, let's go ahead and vote on the motion that's made. That's $1,000 total, guys. Everybody in favor of that? For show of hands, 7-0. All right, so $1,000 for 500 per day for the 2 days that were in violation of the ordinance.
And for further violation,
I would bump it up.
Well, we can't. I mean, is 500 the limit?
typically the max is 500.
Like I say, that's his cost of doing business.
Well, yeah,
I just asked because I know you have a special meeting, but if they continue to do it, I believe the planning department should be able to continue.
right, well, I mean, that's
Fine.
a minimum, but this is throwing water on a forest fire.
So somewhere along the line, the sheriff got to put a stop to it.
Commissioners on the event side of it as well.
What's that?
I'm going to bring it up to the commissioners tomorrow morning on the event side of the violation.
Now, what can, as a grandmother and a mom, what can we do in regards to the property being done the way that it is when it's not governed for that? Is there anything that the community can do to bring it to the attention and get something done on it?
We just did what we could do, it sounds like.
Well, I know, but I'm saying outside of this as a community.
If the community's upset about it, the community ought to make this uncertain. I don't think I should go in front of that.
No, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, yeah.
Okay, so 500 per day, $1,000 total, and 7-0 vote. So that's happening, right? How does this go about? Do you write something up and send it to them?
Yes.
Or deliver it to them? They need to be hand delivered on this one.
And what is the penalty if they don't pay it?
I'm sorry?
What is the penalty if they don't pay it?
Oh gosh.
Better put that in writing.
Wish it was the NC building
Yeah.
the premises law because we can put it against the taxes. What we would have to do is take them to court for it and get a judgment against them. And then that judgment would end up being a lien on the property. And then if they didn't continue not to pay, then you can foreclose on it. So it takes a while, but there's a heavy
It would be a
hand.
second lien holder probably against the first one.
I'm sorry?
You would be a second lien holder.
If they have more personal, yes.
Let me get anybody new first. Anybody else? All right.
Real quickly, sir, you may respectfully consider looking deeply at your new unsafe property ordinance. I think there's a provision in there that you might be able to harness to the benefit of this condition. Number two, BZA also has a level of enforcement action above and beyond the plan commission for you to consider. Number three, I provided the owner with a document having a similar problem in Owen County that I've had to deal with. Criminal trespass is chargeable for each and every arrow that enters your property. You have to have your property marked as no trespassing. Purple paint will suffice. And DNR, as well as the sheriff, will enforce criminal trespass of an arrow or ballistics that entered your property if you've given notice.
That's outside of our purview, correct?
Correct, but those are additional things, and I do believe there is one area that you may have missed. You have fines and you have penalties. And I do believe, and I'm happy to look, and we'll email, there was another section provided for enforcement be in a situation where a person is in violation of zoning, they have been provided a cease and desist letter. You've not filed to the court for cease and desist, but there is another provision in there that I believe will provide you with the outcome you're looking for. And I will send that to Attorney Kerr.
Well, for the continued violations, you can also ask for an equitable remedy from the court of an injunction. And then if they violate the injunction, then they can come to court. And then you're going to have the court instructing.
So, let me ask you this, we've already heard they're planning on doing one Labor Day weekend, that's what, weekend after next, or is that, right? Do we need to send another cease and desist ahead of that date so that they know, or does that one stay in effect?
This one stays in effect, but when we notify them of the penalty that they're being assessed for what they've already done, they will be told that those are going to continue, and some of our other remedies, such as getting an injunction, or if they don't pay their fines, going for the judgment against them.
I feel all this is gonna be as an intention getter, but if there's no teeth behind it, we're not making any headway.
Since they've already been given a cease and desist and they disobeyed that, is there any way that we can go to the court now, since we know they have another one scheduled, and get that injunction?
Yes, what could be done would be to notify them that that's the next step, and either that they agree to come into compliance and stop it, or that we will file for an injunction.
I mean, something to be done prior to the Labor Day weekend. Because, they'd already thumbed their nose at us anyway, so I didn't know whether we could just go ahead and just do the injunction and not notify them we want to do it. Just do it and say, here's an injunction, and...
Well, they'd have to have a hearing for the injunction.
I got you. Well, then they would be notified.
They could be filed.
Just do it.
No, I don't think I would wait. They've already been given the
They've already
Head up on it.
demonstrated that they're...
Yeah, they've shown that they're not going to.
So is there any way that you could go ahead and petition the court?
I will look into that and see. It's my understanding from the consensus of the board that you want to stop.
Yeah.
So,
Do we have the authority to instruct you to start that procedure now, or is that a commissioner's thing?
It would be best if it was both. If you did it and then the commissioners, it's kind of like your recommendation when it comes to.
So,
Could we make a recommendation that Dana do that, and we make a recommendation to the commissioners, which means tomorrow, I believe, that they also
Address the issue. And then they can get back with us and let us
Move
know.
forward with
motion
the-
by Bill to inform the commissioners that we want to move forward with an injunction on this property.
I'll be happy.
Who's gonna second that? Okay. Seconded by Mr. Swapper. All in favor of presenting that to the commissioners to be pursued? So you abstaining, I'm assuming? 601.
Sorry. It's almost given.
All right, and I forget your name, sir, but what did you have? Did you have anything else? You had your hand up.
So, after I sat down, a few things just come back in my brain. So after the shoot on Saturday, day shoot, myself and some of my close campers, after I knew the shooting was done, I said, okay, I want to go collect these arrows. And in 35 minutes worth of walking, we picked up 15 arrows on my arm.
Did you get any kind of, I know you said you sent the deputy some pictures. Did you document this in the, on the day shoot?
Documentation, Gary as well, seen that.
Okay, you have it all? So it's in under the,
And I had one too,
because nothing speaks like a picture.
God gave me something very good, just as I needed. So I'd asked the deputy to specifically move one shoot when he was there. He's like, oh, well, it's okay. We deem it safe. it wasn't 5 minutes he was gone. I went around a dirt pile and parked to video this one shoot. Just as a lady pulled up, shot an arrow, she hit the top of the target and it went, "Wing." How many yards, I don't know, because we never found that arrow.
Yep.
So yeah, I've got all kinds of documentation. That's when I was cussed out, when I was trying to get documentation and show where their shoots were setting at from my side of the property.
Well, hang on to them because I have a feeling this may be needed at some point in the future.
I'm sorry.
Just
that the
saying, yeah.
person had to deal with it.
And we've
We
done,
have all the documentation. I shared a lot of it with Gary. I thank Gary for stepping up and helping me with this problem. So,
okay.
and I appreciate you guys.
Well, we've done what we can do for now.
I appreciate
So,
it. Thank you.
yeah, we're not okay with that, but, okay. Jeez. D, we don't have any official close of anything here on this one. I can move on to D, correct? Okay. D, scheduling of the special public hearing for the UDO, which is the update to all of the ordinances to go along with the comprehensive plan.
So so the UDO has been meeting for about a year now, going over each chapter individually. By Friday, hopefully, by Friday, they will have the draft to me, and then it will be provided to everyone and then publicized for the public to see as well. But because I want to give as much time to you guys to read it, absorb it and everything, I just feel like the September meeting would be too soon to actually have a public hearing. And I feel like you guys need to at least have a month to kind of go over it, because it is a lot of stuff.
When is our October meeting?
The October meeting is the 15th of October. But you do have something on the docket for the 17th already. I was holding the 17th just in case they did get it to me. We would just have to, make sure that you could have it, but they just didn't get it to me in time. I didn't feel comfortable with it. So if you guys want to set it for the October, that just means that anything that comes in, anybody who petitions would then have to wait another month, because you wouldn't want to do both at the same time. You wouldn't want to do petition plus.
We also don't want to gloss this thing over. We
Yeah.
wanna-
No, and I feel like this is you should have a special meeting just for it, because it's just like the comprehensive plan, you want the public to be well informed and well aware of all the changes that are in that book.
When did you say our October meeting was?
The 15th,
I've
I
got-
believe, wait,
I've got my
actually, I think
calendar,
the 22nd,
22nd.
yeah, 22nd, sorry. We had to
22nd.
move it 1 week because of some conflict, so yes, I'm wrong.
Okay, so it's the
I bet
22nd.
it's fall break.
Did you say
I think it was
22nd?
fall break.
Fall break for school, I bet
There was
fell on the
something, I
15th.
wrote.
Yeah, there was
All right,
something,
so-
and so we moved it a week later. If you want to hold to that date, that's fine, because that's already your set date, but I want you guys to. Huh?
What if we get something in?
We'll push,
Right, and that's the thing.
we're gonna push it to November.
Right, and that's why I don't want,
We also need to talk about a venue, because I don't know that this room's big enough.
I think that's another school.
Huh?
I think that's another school.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Yeah.
yeah. If
The
we're
problem
going
with the
to
school
change-
is the audio is awful, because we
Yeah.
don't really have anything to take care of a crowd that big.
Yeah, the only thing would be is, with the issues that we had with the school the last time, we couldn't get YouTube, that's one of our big things, is making sure we have YouTube available to those that cannot
I mean,
get here.
out here,
we was able to
okay,
do it.
yeah.
I mean,
You
people
can at
did
least get
stand
some
on the
people
stairs,
in there.
Yeah,
but we was able to do it.
and I mean, we can.
What about the courtroom upstairs?
We could do it in the courtroom, I believe they have, I think they would just have to move the computer upstairs, because I think they did that with another one of like a commissioner's meeting or something.
As
They just moved it because
one of
there's
them.
already cameras up there.
There's one on the jail,
But
wasn't
out in the lobby, there's no
No.
cameras,
Well-
because you see the cameras are affixed to the wall now, and they're not as easily moved as they used to be.
So
So
does the jail or the court have cameras in it that you can access?
I can check with the IT and make sure of that, and if we set a date, if we set a date far enough out that we have enough
Well, I'd-
time to set it up. I
Is there-
just want to make sure we have that, because it is
Yeah.
going to be a public hearing.
Everybody okay with having that on our October meeting on the
Yeah, I am.
22nd? And then we'll see if we can get up there or out here, one or the other. I think if we go to auditorium, what we're gonna get is a lot of nothing, because you won't be able to
The same as we
hear.
had last time.
Right.
Yeah.
You'll see people talking, but you won't hear anything they've said.
Why didn't work very well either.
The why, yeah, and plus,
We
there
did better
again,
when we had it out here.
we can't put it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, cameras are a problem out here, but, okay, well, you work on a venue for us, and we'll stick to the October 22nd meeting date
Okay.
for the,
That's all I want
for
to
the
make sure,
public
because
hearing.
I just want to make sure you guys were aware.
And then,
If you
if,
need any help with anything, just let me know and I'll help.
if they don't get that to us, though, within the next,
She said that they were working on it, there have been some issues, but she said she was going to.
KK's been very, very good.
Yeah, KK and Debbie have been very good about, being open and honest of why it may be. She just had some issues and it got pushed back a little bit, but she said by Friday I should have a copy. I'm not gonna say I'm not have it, it may have it at 4 o'clock, so it may, I will send it out as soon as I get it, so.
So how will we
It'll be
notify the-
advertised.
how are we gonna notify the public when that copy
So,
comes in?
Tomorrow, so the discussion is during the UDO meeting was to send out like cards, because Monroe County just did it, and they sent out little postcards. Gary Burton got one because he owns property over there, so he was gonna bring me in to show me what it looked like. The only thing is, it's a cost. The post office, I believe, for $2,000 or so is what the redevelopment or the Chamber of Commerce told me, that actually the post office will do it for us, for about $2,000.
Yeah, we wanna get as many people in here as we can,
But we will,
because,
that gives me enough time to check into all that stuff, see
Okay.
what we can do about money, who can pay for it.
all right. So we'll set it for October the 22nd at 6:30, venue to be determined, and we're gonna inform the public. Good enough. Number 7, public comment. Has anybody got a public comment that doesn't pertain to anything we spoke about tonight? It has to be outside of that.
Sir, it is indirectly, it's regarding the UDOs, if you haven't had a chance. Respectfully would ask if you consider setting up a public open house, just as
They
a
have already
comprehensive.
done that, they will do that, and they will schedule that prior to that.
So a public open house prior to the public hearing.
Yeah, she's-
Would be very essential. Number 2, on the
We've already
cards-
discussed that. It is
on the
gonna
cards
happen.
that go out,
Mhm.
many of the UDOs are now using the little scan, the little square that you scan to try and get information. Not everyone has that ability. If the postcards could please have a link to where you could actually get the draft version.
It will be posted on the county website. I will make sure that it's posted on the county website. It will be, a link will be posted on our Facebook page. We will provide it in every location that we possibly can make it to where anybody and everybody can see.
And lastly, if there is any provision that you can consider with the public hearing, only having 3 minutes and having something so important as the UDO, if there is a better format to allow a person to engage, because it is such an extensive document. that
Well, the problem you have there is if 50 people wanna talk, we're gonna be here to midnight.
Right, so just for your consideration, given the size and the multitude of comments that a person may have,
Mhm.
if there is a better format to engage you, to allow you not to have 900 pages at the last minute to review, that would help simplify the community to be able to communicate to you what items that.
Well, hopefully, we'll get the hard copy Friday, and it'll also be made available to the public, so we'll all have had it
It shouldn't
for
be that big of a
almost
problem.
2 months.
No, it shouldn't be that big of a
September,
problem.
yeah.
I mean, this is just a suggestion, is that if there are concerns that we may note that they need to submit the concerns, and then it goes to
Yeah, I'd be
the
okay
committee,
with that.
and then the committee reviews them before they come back to you guys.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I can
let's do that.
talk to KK and Debbie.
Maybe we could do that at the open house, if it's
Yeah.
far enough forward of it.
Thank you, that's all.
Okay. Anything else? Public here? All right. Seeing none, we'll move on. Staff report, do you have anything beyond what we've already done? What do we look like for next month?
Yeah, one rezone next month.
Okay.
So,
Planning Commission comments. Anybody got anything?
I'm talked out.
Talked about? Ken?
Complain too much.
You want to sing for us or something?
No, you won't want that.
All right. Okay, well, with that, I would look for a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion.
All right, we are adjourned. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming.